Welcome back, everybody. My name is All Funny Games. I stream every day on Twitch TV, and I also do fun little videos here on YouTube. Today, we're talking about the update that just got released on the beta for Don't Starve Together. Now, if you haven't had a chance to check it out, I would highly suggest you do, because it's a small beta that actually is ginormous. It has a ton of content added inside of it that literally brings out a ton of, I want to say, like, experience in the game. Meaning that if you get late in the game, so if you don't know what it is, I'll go over it real quick. Basically, what they've done is they've added the ability to have the Celestial Champion have after effects, which we already kind of do. Now, even further, where bosses, when rifts show up, will actually transform into a harder boss mode. Now, why is this good? Well, one, it adds the ability to obviously give us some new items that'll eventually get used for more things down the road. So Planner, which is basically just a different variation to add more damage, and all that other stuff, is now available to bring us a lot of late game content. The reason why this is actually very spicy is because, of course, they've given us the Deerclops, they gave us the Bearger, and they gave us the Varg transformation. And each of those transformations, if you watch my previous video, have a ton of different things behind them that will cause a lot of grief if you don't know what you're dealing with. Now, you can enable rifts automatically, which if you don't know how to play DST, I probably wouldn't recommend doing that, because you're going to get into like Bright Shades and all that stuff really early. But what this also unlocks is the potential that in the caves, we could see a shadow form out of this. Of course, we have the rifts in the caves that are also available too, and we could see things like depth worms and bunnymen and stuff like that get transformed. Now, Clay has already said they do plan on making more variations for lunar stuff above ground. Could that mean that we have a variation of beefalo? Probably not, but some sort of like tall birdish thing could make sense, I suppose. Anything like that above ground will just add more fun to the mix and more variants, which will add late game items, because when you kill them, you get things to obviously use late game, just like you do from the eye from the Deerclops. So, that being said, what am I talking about? Well, I'm saying that things are leading in the right direction for Don't Starve Together. I've asked for things to be harder, and here we are, a lot of harder stuff. Now, this is actually something that really brings me a lot of joy, because when rifts are about, you now have Rift Rain, which is freaking tough. The shit, like, you know, it will kill you if you're not careful. And honestly, it's just fun. It's just cool to have that, like, difficulty there that really screams at you and says, like, if you don't know what you're doing, you're probably going to die. And that actually makes somebody like me, who've been playing DST for a long time, not that I'm one of the best players in Don't Starve Together, because I'm far from it, but it is nice to have that experience and say, like, look, now this game feels like it's hard mode all over again. And of course, brings you down the road of where are they going with this? Is it going to get to a potential where you have to have all these items from killing these rift bosses to eventually lead you to somewhere else? Does this mean that DST is getting harder across the board? Does this mean that we're going to get the shadow rifts transforming things in the caves? I would highly think so. I really actually do think that's probably what's going to happen. So who really knows? All I know is if you have not tried the beta, you really should, because literally it's getting to the point of, in my opinion, I've already had maybe 7 or 8 people message me saying, I'm getting back into DST, do you want to play with me? And I'm seeing more and more people come back. So in my opinion, things are getting a lot more juicy in DST, which could bring back all those players that have said, okay, I've done everything that there is in DST, and now come back for that challenge. So really cool. If you haven't had a chance, check it out. I'm basically making this video to say that if you haven't had a chance to check it out, you really should, and potentially watch out for the new shadow stuff, which I hope will be a thing. But nonetheless, this beta has been amazing so far. So if you haven't had a chance to check it out, test it out. Regardless, it'll probably be on the live branch next week, I would assume, which will bring a ton of awesome content, and I'm assuming a lot of skins too, which would be really cool. So anyways, thanks again for watching. See you there. And if you ever want to play the beta or test run it, you're more than welcome to join me. I do stream every day on Twitch TV, and I will be streaming DST tonight. So come on and play the beta with me if you haven't had a chance. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you in the next one.